Hi everyone, and welcome to 1.21 Gigawatts. I'm Peter, and this is Matt.
Hey, let's talk about some robots.
We're going to talk about Kill Command, which is a movie that was released just recently. It's written and directed by Steve Gomez, and it's a movie about a team of commandos and a woman who's been kind of merged with AI.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's a cyborg.
yeah, she's chipped. She's not no obvious robot parts, but her eyes like scan shit, and she can process crap and all that
Yeah,
jazz.
she can communicate with machines, right? She's like a bridge.
Yeah. And they go to this island, presumably for a training exercise, but oh no, the robots there have went bad, and insanity ensues. Now we'll keep this spoiler free for now. We might go into a little bit of spoilers towards the end, but and we'll give you warning before we do that. But we seen the trailer for this a few months ago,
Yeah.
and I thought it had potential. Mainly because I like movies like this, killer robot movies. I
Mhm.
like Try to Survive in the Jungle. You almost get a bit of a Predator vibe from the trailer, with mixed with some dangerous AI kind
Mhm.
of stuff. Unfortunately, the movie itself is not very good.
Thank you, Pete. Oh man. Oh, I was worried I was gonna have to argue, and I was stealing myself for it. But yeah, I this would have been a great Black Mirror episode. Like you cut it at like an hour 10, right? And you trim it down to the necessary parts,
See,
and
this
it's
is,
about technology
see,
and
see, this is the thing.
uh,
I don't even think that cutting it down is necessarily what you need to do to make this better. I think this could have been a perfectly great, fun movie
mhm.
with a couple of. Admittedly, these are major aspects, but the problems here. The first problem for me, really, here is the characters. They are
Yes.
all cardboard cutouts that have no defining qualities
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Lieutenant Expendable reporting for duty.
And even the main guy, who's kind of meant to be the main character along with the girl,
Yeah.
has no personality, and the actor's not very good. It just comes across as just like we really want to be making a James Cameron movie, but we are failing miserably at it because we have no understanding of how. Like, you go back and watch Aliens, you remember almost all those characters, and yeah, some of them are a little bit stereotypical, and you kind of have to be if you've got that big a cast with all these
But there's
Marines.
difference between being stereotypical and being an archetype. Like in the Cameron movie, in Aliens, you have Paxton's character, who is
Mm-hmm.
the archetypical weasel, right? That's just waiting to turn. So, and you don't mind that because he pulls it off.
Yeah, well,
Here, these guys are stereotypical soldiers, and it's hard when bad stuff starts happening. I found it hard to differentiate.
yeah, I didn't like it because there's like 3 or 4 white guys, 3 black guys, and 1 woman outside of the main robot woman who obviously
Yeah,
looks different from everyone else because she's not in soldier gear, so she stands out. But
right.
all the soldiers, okay, the woman kind of stands out to a point. Like if you hear her speak, she stands out. But when they're all shooting,
Yeah.
you can't really tell. Um, I wasn't even sure how many soldiers there was at one point until they started dying. And I could kind of tally up how many there were.
Yep.
There was no real personality traits. There's that one guy she kind of talks to, and he seems to have some sort of implant in his eye, and he sort of sympathises with her. But
Yeah.
that is the closest we ever get to any kind of character connection.
Yeah, because he's the guy that asked her when she was chipped,
Yeah.
right? And she talks about how it's been since she was a kid, and all that stuff. And
Which,
that's the one character moment that I think exists in the movie, unless you count the robots. Who that one has more character than most of the cast.
no, it does. Like, if I was going to give the movie positives, I do think the robot
Yeah.
designs are pretty cool.
Yes.
I like that main robot. I think, I mean, I think you could take the same sort of structure of the script, and if
Mm-hmm.
you rewrite the characters and you get better cast members, and admittedly a better director, so the action scenes are a bit more exciting.
Yeah.
It had this really weird feeling of. It didn't feel like an asylum movie or anything like that. I mean, some of the effects actually look quite good, but there was this weird feeling of just being slightly cheap throughout.
Yes.
It's a really hard thing to pinpoint. I think it was
Yeah.
more. I think it was the locations more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't feel. You can film in a forest and still make it feel like there's money there, but for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, I don't know if it was the shooting style or what, but it still had that tinge of, oh, we're shooting in a forest because it's cheap to shoot in a forest.
Yeah, well, it was almost like they were shooting in the guy's backyard because it was the guy's backyard. You know, like this was the one location they could lock down for that period of time. You know, but yeah, but no, the robot designs were great. There's something always creepy about spider-legged robots.
Yeah.
You know, so they've definitely felt like a threat, and I thought that was handled fine. Like the last act was pretty good once the robots start becoming more of a factor, but it's
Well, Hunt, the action in the last act is kind of not bad. The,
yeah.
the problem for me is though is it hints at ideas that would have worked really well.
Hmm.
Because the one sort of plot thing that's going on throughout the entire movie beyond we're trying to survive is
Right.
that whether or not she's more human or she's more robot, and
Right.
the robots don't attack her because they're not really sure.
Right.
And at the end of the movie, when the robots like identify or whatever,
Hmm.
um,
Rectify.
and she, actually, I suppose I'm getting spoilers now. Okay, spoiler
No, no,
warning.
no, no, but yeah, I know what you're saying because the whole point on these, this isn't really a spoiler, is that they are adapting, right? They're kind of like the Borg in Star Trek, to
Yeah,
where
because they mimic their like attack patterns and stuff. Because that's kind of the point is
yes,
they learn from the real soldiers and try and counteract it. And but the
right.
point I was getting at without actually getting to the spoiler is
Mhm.
that whole question of is she more human or more robot. I thought, I mean, it's been done before, but that is an endlessly interesting theme. You can
Yeah,
do that 100,000 times, and it'll be interesting every time if you just write it well. The problem
sure. I
is,
mean, Blade Runner, right? Like in every different version, that's still the good thing of human or robot, right?
yeah, Blade Runner, RoboCop, like
Yeah,
two vastly different films, but both handle that same theme
yeah,
wonderfully. So,
yeah.
and I feel like you could have had this. This could have felt like Aliens, but with killer robots, with this central theme of, you know, uh, man or machine, or in this case, woman or machine. Like, you
Mm.
know, like which side of her wins out. That could have been a really interesting and captivating story. I can look at this movie and see how it could become a 9 out of 10. I really can. I can look at it and see how it could become that. But unfortunately, it's like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is kind of where it comes for me, and it's a shame because I think there was potential there, and maybe I shouldn't get my hopes up for a killer robot movie, but I like that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, but no, definitely it looked cheap, and there's a lot of quiet moments in the beginning to where like, are all these necessary? Like, you're not developing anybody here.
that's the problem. Quiet's good as long as the characters are
Yeah,
interesting, but the characters weren't interesting, so
no, yeah,
it just felt like they were standing about waiting
yeah,
and things, and it was
e-
like
exactly, and yeah, I just was like, please don't let it be like this, please, because
that
if
was
so, it's gonna be rough.
that was my thing. Like 5-10 minutes into it, like I kind of knew what it was. I'm like, okay, any chance of this being like really good is probably gone by this point. Um,
Yeah.
like I just kind of had that feeling. It was particularly the scene when they were on the plane or whatever it is. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's a machine we don't actually have, but it's like a mix between a plane and a helicopter, and
Yeah.
they're flying to the island, and they're bantering. Like all I can think of is how much better the scene in Aliens of them in the jump ship as they're going down to the
Yeah.
planet, and how this is so not that. like these characters have nothing. They have no personality. They have nothing to go on.
Yeah. Rough times. You just made me remember the part in Edge of Tomorrow where Tom Cruise is trying to warn everybody that he knows it's coming, and they push him back down into the seat.
Mm.
You know, and I was like, I kind of even talking about this movie, I kind of wish I was watching Edge of Tomorrow instead. So, uh,
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it had potential, but I mean, I like to try some of these smaller films because you do get gems. I mean, last week we talked about how to plan an orgy in a small town, and that was
mhm,
actually a really good little movie.
really fantastic.
So I don't know. Anything else you'd like to add on, Matt, about Kill Command?
No, I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. The action need to be more exciting, but more importantly, the characters need to actually be characters. And here they're just cardboard cutouts, which is my main complaint. So,
Yeah.
um, there you go. That's Kill Command. Let us know what you thought of the movie down below in the comments. Like and subscribe and all that jazz helps us out a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.